I tell you, I can't believe this. Another thing was in the afternoon, after 2 days, राज साहब फिर क्या तुम क्या कर रहे हो? मैंने कहा नहीं तो चलो वो डायरेक्टर ऑस्ट्रेशन का मेरा फिल्म स्टेशन है हमारे साथ चलो. I accompany him. And I tell you how it is international connection to the Kapoor clan, which he has explained because his film was to be premiered. तो ये था आपका एक फिल्म का प्रेम रोग ना? हाँ वो एक फिल्म थी जो उस वक्त में प्रीमियर हो रही थी वहाँ पे. एक कोई आदमी इंक्लूड करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द होल पॉपुलैरिटी ऑफ राज साहब, हिज आइडियोलॉजी, हिज सोशियो पोलिटिकल कमिटमेंट क्या था. तो वन गाय वाज ट्राइंग टू इंक्लूड, तो राज साहब दैट डिस्टर्बेबल, ये लोग उसको क्यों नहीं अंदर आने दे रहे. तो दैट गाय वाज फ्रॉम ताजिकिस्तान एंड देन रशिया वाज टुगेदर ऑल दिस थिंग्स. वो उसको पूछा उन्होंने क्या है, तो राज साहब ने क्या उसको क्या सवाल था. तो अदर रशियन डायरेक्टर दैट said he wants to sing a song from your film. And I had a super 8 camera. I have shot with you. You know, I have you and Randir and Smita Patil, if you remember. We were all there together and I have on my super 8 camera. I've captured them. That's all here. तुम्हारा camera on करो देखो क्या करता है वो. And I have that on the record. That boy who was there, a Tajikistan guy who could speak only Russian, started singing the way I am just demonstrating. जाने कहाँ गए वो दिल, like that, you know. Raj Saab practically he was moved. This is the popularity of the connection, the music, the kind of innocence Raj Saab on his face. And this is what Randir, Rishi and now Ranbir, they have got this kind of a devotion and dedication to acting. So now, this is what you ask Rishi. It doesn't mean that you are a son of a filmmaker. It doesn't mean that you make you to go only for acting or in films. It could be there are people, you know, who have broken down this path. Said नहीं भैया मेरे को नहीं करना है, मुझे और कुछ करना है. What was the point when you said कि नहीं ये को मेकअप लगना चाहिए, हमको कुछ एक्टिंग करनी चाहिए कैमरे के सामने, वो क्या हुआ?
Good morning or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thank you very much for coming here. Dr. Jabbar Patel Sahab has been very kind to have me on stage to talk to you. I am no champion, I am no great or any kind of I'm a small actor who works and who passionately works in films. I love working, like he said, acting is in our kind of a blood. In the 105 or 106 years of Indian cinema that has been existing, I'm very proud to tell you that the Kapoor family's contribution to that is for 90 years now. Wow. My grandfather in the came from Peshawar at that time, the British India. He came to Mumbai sometime in 1926 or 27. Struggled and then of course went to Calcutta and then started working. For me it's a great honor to tell you that I belong to a legacy who have been passionately working over 4 generations of male actors. That is my grandfather, my father, my elder brother and now Ranbir. And it gives me absolute pleasure to tell you that thank you very much for all your blessings and love. And we hope that we can carry on this legacy even further on. Now, he asked me a question, what is it? People, you know, generally tell us there's a lot of nepotism in Indian cinema. I don't understand what kind of nepotism would be with us. There have been some Kapoors who did not really get to the marquee, and some did, with your blessings. We've always been very passionate about acting. We've always been very much. And it is only, you see, like, I always feel that the actor and the politician are chosen by the people. It's the audience that who actually likes them, the public that actually makes them, resurrects them. I've been very fortunate that I became an actor in a very early stage of my life. I worked in a film called Mera Naam Joker, in which I played my father's junior. And of course, that film was my part, the first part of Mera Naam Joker was very well received. And thereafter when we made Bobby, I happened to be in that film by default. I mean, Raj Kapoor did not make that film to launch me as an actor or a star. He made it because he wanted to make a teenage love story, and there was an actor in the house who was very much appreciated in Joker. That is why he took me in the film. Otherwise, Bobby is the heroine's name in the film. It's a heroine-oriented film. I happened to be there. In the due course, Dimple got married and she left the film industry. The film release became a super-duper hit and I took all the credit by default. I became an actor in Bobby because of default, sir. I always say that, and I've even said it in my book, Khullam Khulla, which I've written. I thank you, my father, he's been my father, my guru, everything that I can say. So that is how actually I worked in films. Like, I remember when my grandfather started, those days actors were employed by the companies, you know, like the theatres or they were production houses. They used to get a stipend of 250 rupees. In those days, 250 rupees, a lot of money. You know, sometimes in 30s and all that. They used to get 250 rupees a month and they would be working in films. So money was not the concern. They didn't bother if the picture succeeds or fails. We are on a monthly stipend. Then came a time when India got its independence and there were very many stories to say about the youth, of Indian youth. So there were very many stories, and that is when my father stepped in to work in films. Kahaniyan thi, V. Shantaram, Mehboob, all the great filmmakers were making socially relevant films. That's why you see in late 40s and 50s, there are certain films which are path-breaking films, which had a social message, which served the purpose, and it's even, few of them are even enjoyed today. Then came my era. My era was more of a commercial kind of atmosphere, where actors were seemingly put on their own. They didn't work on a stipend, they were paid independently, they were making films. And then came the very difficult era that is of my son's Ranbir's. Like today's actors are so well focused. They're so well aware of everything. Apart from, you know, being very conscious about their health and bodies, they are all, when they enter in the films, they are aware of what films are all about. And that is, I feel, the exposure that we have today on social media, the television, international cinema, everything that people, you know, learn and they know in the early stages. So that's what the difference is. Prithviraj Kapoor perhaps would have learned by trial and error basis. Raj Kapoor also may have. I was lucky. I had a great, what do I say, entry into films, and of course we were born under the, you know, auspices of RK Studios, and we saw people working as actors in a very early stage. So this transformation, which I feel has been for generations, is how I feel Ranbir has become an actor. And I'll take questions from you guys to make it a little more interesting, you know. Like, I will not be speaking as what you want. If whatever you want me to tell you, I will.
I have some questions for you.
Sure.
Now today, when you grew, and you're seeing some of your grandfather's work also, maybe you were young, but some of the acting in cinema basically, theatre has stopped. How you evaluate as an actor Prithviraj Kapoor? Because something you must have definitely in mind.
An actor represents a certain time capsule. When he enters the surroundings, the vicinity, what's happening, he is representing or mirroring a certain time capsule, and all of us have in our own times. Prithviraj Kapoor was a double MA, and he came to Mumbai to make a living, and he wanted to be an actor on theatre, in cinema or whatever, and he pursued that. I can't imagine anybody else working as Emperor Akbar in Mughal-e-Azam. I cannot imagine. I must tell you a very interesting story. Jabbar bhai, please hear this. I was in Bikaner shooting for a film called Laila Majnu. And there was nothing to do. I'm talking about 74, 75. No mobile phones, no televisions, no telephones, nothing at all. We were in a hotel, which was an old palace. In the evenings after work got over, we had nothing to do. We used to play carom or we used to play billiards to pass our time. Ranjit, actor, Danny Ganzokba, Asrani, painter, Shorty, myself, Ranjita, all of us. We were all very, very young, in our early 20s, with nothing else to do. One day, what happened? In those days, there were lightning calls we made. Lightning's urgent or already ko lagta hi nahi tha. But lightning also used to take 2 days to call from Mumbai to Bikaner, 1974. One day, one of the peons came running from the reception. They said, "Ke lightning call aaya Rishi Kapoor please." So we all got alarmed and we all got very scared. What has happened? There's a lightning call coming in from Mumbai for me. So all my friends escorted me to the front reception. There was no phone even in the room. So we had to go to the reception. And we used to be screaming on top of voice because communication was very bad those days. I got to know there's Manmohan Desai wanting to speak to me. And he wants to offer me a film called Amar Akbar Anthony. He's calling me for that. So we took the phone and we kept trying to communicate with each other. Little could be heard and some words were even said by the operator, say, ye keh rahe hain, ye keh rahe hain. So he tells me, Rishi, I am calling you to tell you that I want you to work in Amar Akbar Anthony and portray the character of Akbar in that film. Now I am thinking, Akbar? There's a little backstory on this. Manmohan Desai was the champion of all illogical films. He challenged gravity, he challenged everything possible. He was making in that time a film called Dharamveer, in which he had put Dharminder in a skirt and put Jitendra in tights. So he could do anything. And my father, my uncles, my elder brother, all had worked with Manmohan. He was great. He's a big filmmaker, very big commercial filmmaker. So I have that back of mind that he's making Dharamveer and he's making that Jitendra and Dharminder. So he said me, tum Akbar ka role play karo. So here I'm thinking, Akbar ka role play karo. I'm telling him, how can I play my grandfather's role? How can I play Akbar in this? Now there Manmohan Desai is confused. Yeah, what is he saying? I want him to play a Qawwal called Akbar. And I'm thinking, what is he doing? He wants me to play my grandfather, Akbar. So there's absolute confusion. Because I thought Akbar cannot be recreated. Only Prithviraj Kapoor actually is Akbar of Mughal-e-Azam. So this has been a very big milestone point in my career also. How I was offered the film, what I thought of the film, and then what happened. So Prithviraj Kapoor, of course, being the senior most and who started and gave us all his blessings and all of his actors. I remember another, if I may give you another anecdote.
Please.
I won the National Award for Mera Naam Joko as the best child actor. I was about 15, 16 years of age. And I won the award and I showed it to my father. My father said, "Jao apne dada ko dikhao aur unse aashirwad leke aao." So I went to my grandfather. I was 15, 16 years of age. There was a plaque which I had. I put it on my grandfather's lap on his feet and he just took it and he touched it by his forehead and he had tears in his eyes. वो रोने लगे, उनके आंखों में आंसू आ गया. So I thought कि मैंने क्या गड़बड़ की थी, my grandfather's crying. I got very scared. And he said those words that I did not understand them at that time, which I realized the value of those. He said to me, "Raj ne mera karza utar diya." I became an actor, I won an award. He said, "Raj ne mera karza utar diya." He said, "I bless you that generations of actors should be going on." So there's a very, I even mentioned this anecdote in my book, that this is the blessing of my grandfather on me. So that is what he was all about.
Good. And now the next generation came in your life, and then you watched somebody like Raj Kapoor as an actor. How you have written Raj Kapoor as an actor? Of course, you have written, Rishi's book is a wonderful reading. By the way, the film is being translated in Marathi now.
Yes.
And I think the writer who is translating is Veena Karnik around here? Okay, she's around. She's the writer who is translating. Is in the festival.
As a matter of fact, the Hindi is already under progress. It's work under progress and it's being printed. on the soft back, and it should be out in another 3 months.
Yeah, the Marathi is on the way.
Marathi, Gujarati.
And she's a very renowned writer, and she said, and a very hard critic. I said, how you find when you are translating Rishi's book? She said, it's a fantastic book. Very candid and very open and very honest document in his life. So whatever we are listening to him now, you must read his book. It's something very few times actors have said about their life. Very few times. Very few. Now with the digital media, people speak, but the books, and I think the remarkable books have come, like Brando. The songs my mother sang for me, one of the Marlon Brandos, one of the great thing about acting, what he said. Many people, but this book becomes to me an historical document. What
Thank you,
RUSHI
Jabbar.
Kapoor, yeah.
You're being very kind,
important.
thank you.
Okay, so now what was your father to you as an actor?
See, my brothers and I were convinced that my father must be a very important man. Because wherever we went in public life, they used to all look at us. Why would they look at us? तो हमको मालूम था कि हमारा बाप जो है थोड़ा पॉपुलर आदमी और क्या है, हमें अहमियत नहीं पता थी एक्टर की क्या अहमियत होती है. हम किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते थे तो अगर टेबल ना भी हो तो हमको टेबल में मिल जाता था. अगर हम कोई पिक्चर देखने जाते थे तो अगर वो हाउसफुल था तो 3-4 लोग उठा देते थे, आप बैठे. तो हमको ये जरूर पता था कि हमारा बाप बड़ा आदमी है, बट क्या है वो नहीं हमें पता था. Because we were not allowed to go to the studios, we were very young. We were not, only on the weekends we used to go and see what shooting is taking place or whatever. So for me, Raj Kapoor, apart from being my father itself, he's the one who actually is my guru also. He taught me everything in life. I am compelled to tell you of an anecdote with my father. I was shooting for Bobby. And Bobby का पहला गाना पिक्चराइज होने वाला था, मैं शायर तो नहीं. हाँ जी. अब किसी भी एक्टर, an upcoming actor, an excited actor is always very fascinated that he's going to be singing a song in a film. It's a big fascination, a big high to anyone. तो मैं जल्दी से तैयार होकर सेट पे आया. सेट पे लाइटिंग वाइटिंग चल रही थी. तो चीफ असिस्टेंट राज कपूर साहब के थे जो थे. मैंने पूछा चैटिंग विद द असिस्टेंट्स, जूनियर आर्टिस्ट आए, दे केम इन पोजीशन. राज साहब को कॉटेज से बुलाया गया, बोले कि शॉट रेडी है. By that time I was getting a little edgy, why I am not seeing a choreographer. When Raj Kapoor came on the set and all the lights were on and he said this is what the shot is and this is what he was doing, I went to him. Now I never used to call him Papa, Babuji, actor, Daddy, nothing. I used to call him Saab. No, everybody used to call him Saab. So I asked him, Saab, koi choreographer nahi aaya, I am not seeing any dance director. So he said, why do you need a dance director? Why do you need a choreographer? So I went and said to him, this is my first song I'm going to be singing in my life. मुझे नहीं आता करने को. He said, नहीं आता है तो करो, खड़े रहो हाँ, and enact the song, which in your way should be done. I felt a little odd. I said, मेरी जिंदगी का पहला गाना है. I am all but 20-21 years of age. What is my knowledge of singing a song and how do you sing a song? He said, then learn it. He said, then he told me in front of everybody. He said, अगर आज मैं डांस मास्टर लाता, कोई कोरियोग्राफर लाता, तो वो तुम्हें वो करवाता जो उसने करवाया है धर्मेंद्र से, शशि कपूर से, सुनील दत्त से, अमिताभ बच्चन से, जितेंद्र से, और सब बोलते हैं, ओ देखो राज कपूर का बेटा, वो तो उसकी कॉपी कर रहा है. तुम अपनी छाप बनाओ, अपनी आइडेंटिटी बनाओ. Sing, even if you are awkward, sing that way, then only you learn how to sing a song in a film. Well, that was a very big learning experience for me. However awkward I am, if you see the song, next time you see Bobby on television or anywhere, see how awkward I am in that song. I am so stiff, I don't know what I am doing. But that was one learning. As a guru, he gave me that gyan. He threw me in the deep end of the water and said, no, तैरना सीखो. This is the only way to do it. Otherwise, people will tell you, देखो तुम तो धर्मेंद्र की कॉपी कर रहे हो. Because that choreographer has a style, और उसने उन एक्टरों को ऐसे बोला ऐसे गाने को, तो उन लोग उसकी नकल करते हैं. अगर मैं भी उसकी नकल करता, तो मुझे बोलता है देखो ये तो सुनील दत्त या शशि कपूर की कर रहा है, शमी कपूर की कर रहा है. So that was a very big lesson to me. That was only imparted to me by my father. Over the years, this was my second experience with Raj Kapoor. I had worked with him in Joker. I did not do anything. In Joker, I only followed him what he used to do. He used to show me acting ऐसा करो, और मैं उनकी कॉपी करते ऐसा करता था, और उसके लिए मुझे नेशनल अवार्ड मिल गया. तो मैंने ऐसा कोई कार्य नहीं किया कि मुझे एक्टर से मैंने सिर्फ नकल की थी राज कपूर साहब की. फिर then I met Bobby. Then after Bobby, I worked with him. I'm not talking to him about my father as a director and as an actor. I worked with him in Prem Road, which was extensively shot in Pune. Now that, from Bobby to Prem Road was 10 years. In those 10 years, I had worked with a lot of filmmakers. I had worked with a lot of films. I mean, I worked by about 20 odd films by then. So I had a little experience. और मुझे मालूम था आटा दाल का भाव, कि कौन कितने पानी में डायरेक्टर, कौन किसकी अहमियत है, कौन कितना इम्पोर्टेंट और कौन नहीं है. So that time to work with Raj Kapoor was an honor. To be directed by the same man who gave me a break, and to work with him as a story so important as Prem Road. And he used to give me a lot of freedom. He first offered me to direct the picture. I said, no, I don't have the time and I don't have the temperament to direct a film. I'm busy as an actor. Then he directed the film. Then he used to give me a lot of rope to, अभी तुम कैसे करना चाहते हो, अच्छा मुझे perform करके दिखाओ, अच्छा very good, ये वो. So this was great encouragement. So for me, Raj Kapoor has been a great institution also. He's been a great school teacher to me. You know, an actor learns from his peers, and I have learned whatever I have known is only through him. I remember one incident, I say so, or one anecdote. I was shooting for Prem Road, और वो बहुत important scene था जब पत्नी कोल्हापुरी बोलती कि तुम गाँव छोड़ के चले जाओ, हम and she said हम तुम्हारी दुल्हन बन गए, हम एक बार विधवा बन चुके, हम दूसरी बार विधवा नहीं बनना चाहते. ऐसा एक scene था. And he wanted a certain kind of look of mine to Padmini in a shot. Shot लगाया था, and Raj Kapoor साहब at that point of time told me, Chintu is my pet name. Chintu, मुझे यूसुफ चाहिए, यूसुफ in the shot. He was colleague of Raj Kapoor and competitor of Raj Kapoor, Dilip Kumar साहब. He used to say, I need your eyes to speak like Dilip Kumar. You should be looking at this girl in such a romantic manner. You should remind me of Yusuf. I remember these words. आज कौन अपने कलीग के बारे में अपने बेटे को बोलता है उसकी एक्टिंग करके मुझे ऐसी मोहब्बत वाली लुक चाहिए, that I want you to look that way. So that was what Raj Kapoor was all about for me. I cannot forget these. These are the kind of teaching that I have gone through.
This is something really great. I mean,
these are imparting you a lot of anecdotes of what I have gone through.
Look, today we are having most of the media students, most of them would be next future actors, some of them from theatre. They would know, what kind of hard work goes behind it and what kind of observation would be behind it. Now here, even to look at the father, but not that passion he was a father, but look at him as a director. Now, Rishi, tell me one thing. Whenever Raj Sahab, two questions I would ask you, as not as son, but as today, the student of cinema. What was the best role for you Raj Kapoor played? To you, is still...
I personally, this is my personal thing. Whenever I see the film, not because he's my father, but I get tears in my eyes because of that very honest performance. I loved him in Jagte Raho. He was... Raj Kapoor was himself a very glamorous looking man. Blue eyes, fair-skinned, absolutely did not look like an Indian. But to look like a man come from village into a city जिसमें चना फंस जाता है घर में and he needs water and he walks into a building and how the metaphor of the building was the society and how he opens up everything. The way he performed, his simplicity, his innocence, and then in the end, his complete outburst. And the outburst is towards the society. I saw him very different as in what I've seen him in earlier in films like Chachobis or whatever films that I've seen. So for me, Raj Kapoor was very good as an actor in Jagte Raho.
Good. And how you're developing with your father and also into acting. And now, as you said, there was Dilip Kumar, there was Devanand, Shammi Kapoor, your uncle. And you see, and also Motilal ji, great actors, Balraj Sahani, so many people. Now when you evaluate now, the school, different schools having that. don't you feel there's a lot of seriousness people took to the stories and those kind of very steady look at studying those characters and all that? So how do you see that era where Raj Kapoor very seriously acting Chaksobi, Dilip Kumar and Devdas? How do you evaluate other actors?
I am compelled to share with you two very good learnings I got from two different directors. One was from Mr. B.R. Chopra and the second was Mr. Raj Khosla. B.R. Chopra told me, he said, Rishi, acting is all about putting in effort to show effortlessness. मेहनत करो ऐसा लगेगा यार तुम ऐसा effortless acting करते हो सारा पता ही लगता है acting कर ही नहीं रहे हो. मेरे को एक बार किसी जर्नलिस्ट ने बोला था कि तुम मुझे मेरे पैसे रिफंड करो, मैं तुम्हारी पिक्चर देखी. तो मैंने बोला ये क्या बोल रहे हो, कैसे? इसे हम आए थे तुमको एक्टिंग देखने, तुम तो एक्टिंग करते ही नहीं हो, तुम तो ऐसे कर लेते हो. No bigger compliment has been ever given to me than this. Mr. Raj Khosla told me another beautiful thing. What is acting all about? हम जितने तमाम यहाँ सब बैठे लोग, we are all actors. Every human being is an actor. He acts, he does everything. Acting क्या है? कैसे तुम चलते हो, कैसे तुम खाना खाते हो, कैसे तुम बोलते हो, कैसे तुम हंसते हो, हम सब को ऐसे करते हैं. वो जो एक अपने अंदाज से अलग करता है, इसे देवानंद को देखो, राज कपूर को देखो, दिलीप कुमार को देखो, बलराज साहनी को. बलराज साहनी and Motilal, according to me, was an absolute different school of acting. My father and his colleagues were a different school of acting. They had a certain stylized acting. They were stylish actors. The other school method was the natural actors, the very spontaneous actors, which I think is the call of today. जितने आज बच्चे जो एक्टर बनते हैं आजकल, जितने आ रहे हैं, they are all not very stylized and they are very focused on trying to give a natural performance. However much will they succeed or may not succeed, but all are of that school. I respect both the schools of acting. The method acting and the natural school of acting. दोनों अपनी अपनी जगह ठीक है. When he asked me a question when they used to prepare for a role, yes, I know a lot of people have prepared for a role. You know, even Nasiruddin Shah, Om Puri, great actors, and they prepared for a certain role and they lived the role in the film. But you know, I feel in today's times, certain characters do not really require that preparation as what we deem fit. And they bring it into a very natural form, which is one form which I respect also. My son told me when he was learning in New York, so he said, Papa, I want to do a course with Lee Strasberg Theatre Institute. So I said to him, sure, whatever you want to do, but I said, do you know what Lee Strasberg is about? He said, yes, I know it's a method acting school, which is absolute unlike you. You don't prepare, you don't do any method, there's no way of method acting for you. I said, sure. You learn and then you make your choices कि तुमको कैसे एक्टर बनना है. तुमने शेयर करना है मेथड से या तुम्हें स्पॉन्टेनियस से करना है. And Ranveer does just that. He imbibed whatever he could from Lee Strasberg and he makes his own character building in his mind in his own way and he puts that into his, and that should be the right way. I tell all youngsters, all my colleagues, kids, जो वो एक्टर बन रहे हैं, ये बनते हैं, ऐसे देखो रणवीर के साथ ऐसा हुआ. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि न्यूयॉर्क जाके एक्टर बने, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ये सब बकवास है. मुझे उस दिन अमित जी भी बता रहे थे कि रणवीर told him कि I did not gain anything by going to that institute. It's you who's going to prove it. एक्टर बनते नहीं है, वो बन जाते हैं सर. वो अंदर से होता है, एक पैशन होती है, एक जलन होती है, एक जुनून होता है काम करने का और उसे सही तरीके से करने का. So these things come very natural to sir.
But Rishi, you know one thing, when you say this, I have just one or two questions that you ask. They are very pertinent questions. I have seen Rishi Kapoor in many films of his young age. Rishi, the kind of body language, every role you perform. It was not every time Rishi Kapoor, but you, especially these, I think these are from Raj Sahab. The kind of body language, especially where you are in song picturization, especially when you're dancing, okay? The lip syncing and the whole thing. Plus, the kind of costumes you prepare, kind of get-ups you prepare, you are very careful about it. So you used to get the script early and work on it so that you पहले गाने क्या है, किससे बनाए?
So as I talked to you about first 25 years of my life, I did nothing but dancing around trees. I sang songs, I went to Switzerland, went to Ooty, went to Darjeeling area. No acting I did. एक्टिंग तो मुझे इस दौर में एक्टिंग का चॉइस मिला, मुझे भी आज तो मुझे एक्टिंग के रोल मिलने लगे हैं। देखो मेरे साथ कोई एक्टिंग का रोल नहीं मिलता था मेरे को। बाहर का प्रेम रोग और दामिनी और तबाह, नो वन एवर गिव मी एनी एक्टिंग रोल। नहीं तुम सिर्फ जर्सी बनो और गाना गाओ और स्विट्जरलैंड में लड़की के पीछे भागो, यही होता था मेरे साथ उन दिनों में। तो ऐसा सर कि इट्स आई टेल यू एक पैशन होता है। आई एंजॉय एक्टिंग वेरी मच एंड I feel that I recently did, I don't know if you people saw it, I played a 90-year-old man in Kapoor and Sons. Now that was a great challenge for me. You know, all my friends, my colleagues know that I have no patience. And I tested that one trait of mine. I used to sit for that makeup daily, every day for 5.5 hours to 6 hours doing that makeup. I had an American makeup artist, Greg Canham, come from Los Angeles, and his assistant Logan Long, and they used to work on me. 6 o'clock in the morning, I was in the chair for makeup. At 12 o'clock, I used to go for the first shot, and I used to be in that, prosthetics, in my makeup, in my dress, and everything for about more than 12 hours. And imagine your face is covered in all that. There's irritation, you know, that you're sweating, you know, but I did lose a lot of my patience with my director. I was always fighting with the director in the film. But then I did it because, and every day I used to do it. I did it for more than 23 days. Every day was required of me to get ready in that role. I have done a film now, which is going to be releasing, it's called 102 Not Out. I've again played a man who's 75 years of age. 102 Not Out is about Amitabh Bachchan and myself in the film. He's my father who's 102 years of age, and his son who's 75 years of age. So it's a very socially relevant film which will be releasing sometime in March. So I enjoy doing these things. I'm compared because I didn't get that chance to do in the first 25 years of my life. मेरे को दिया नहीं कि मेरे को सिर्फ गाने वाने दिए, रोमांस करने को किया और कुछ नहीं, जर्सी पहनने को बोला तो जर्सी पहना, ऐसा कुछ किया नहीं मैंने। ये अब this is the time when I'm really enjoying working in films.
But you know, with all that, you say that, and I take this comment as a very humble kind of submission. But he had his own marks, his charm. I still remember a film called Sargam, and you had the Dhapli. And you know, it's very difficult. Raj Sahab also played Dhapli in, I think, Charsobis. And Charsobis. So, they had that, you know, because this has been Raj Sahab was trained into Narayan Vyas was his guru, so he knew, and he was a great in percussion.
Yeah, he played most of the percussion instruments without learning. He used to play the piano without learning. He used to play the piano. Yeah. He didn't learn. ये कुदरती ज्ञान था उनमें, रिदम पे पियानो बजाना, हारमोनियम पे हाथ चलाना. This he's never learned. It's just by ear he used to play.
Yeah, but I must give a compliment to RK Films as a student of cinema and even at this age, with what I've seen as a music. I think song picturization in a film, and that too also what Raj Sahab did, I think it's ultimate. See, even we remember Pyar Kiya, Pyar Hua, Ikrar Hua. I think that song, I think it's done in the studio, okay? And it is, I think it's one of the Jitesh Ganga Bahti hai. The way, I remember one anecdote, Lata ji was telling me, when the whole Karwa is doing that, Aab Lord Chale. You know, this is a fabulous song was recorded, and Rasa was not happy. So Shankar ji said, but sir, क्या हुआ है? इतना बड़ा अच्छा कर रहा हूँ, क्या करना है? बोले नहीं यार कुछ मिसिंग हो रहा है. And he called Lata ji, लता तुम बूथ में जाओ और देखो क्या होता है. See, this is the mind of the man who is going to picturize the song here, already recorded. There is no visual there. He recording song and he still saying कि शंकर जयकिशन ने गाना बनाया, is something is missing. मुकेश साहब ने beautiful गाया, आप लौट चले.
That alap जो था ना, was incurred there.
वो
alap was impromptu done after the
and he did afterwards. And see, he had a picturization कि पद्मिनी comes from that hill and आया. See, this is what Raj Sahab was and the whole thing. I mean, but now the last question, because there are
you know, I just want to add a little more. Because कुछ डायरेक्टर ऐसे होते हैं जो गाना, you know, Hindi cinema is all about song, dance. Indian culture is all about that. So we put that, you know, in people like to see this, you know, song and dance, which is part of our all films, Hindi films. और कुछ डायरेक्टर ऐसे होते हैं जो गाने की सिचुएशन आती है तो उनको घबराहट हो जाती है कि अरे यार क्या यार. You know, song should be interweaved in the script. It should take the film forward. It should not stabilize the film. हर गाने से कुछ बातें आगे बढ़नी चाहिए. कुछ डायरेक्टर होते हैं कि यार उनको तकलीफ हो गई, अरे यार क्या डालो. तो उन्होंने 2-3 घंटे में मेरे साथ भी गाना पिक्चराइज किया है. 2-3 घंटे में they don't know what to do. अरे जल्दी करो, खत्म करो यार इसको. आगे सीन पर पढ़ो, doesn't mean make that. I don't want to name anybody. But having said that, there are people who enjoy, you know, picturization of songs. Vijay Anand, Raj Khosla, Raj Kapoor. There were a lot of them. Guru Dutt. Who can you forget Guru Dutt? They masters in the art of picturizations of song. It's an art form. It is another way of doing it.
Bimal is also.
Bimal, we all the masters. Shantaramji, all in their own time. The master Mehboob Khan, K. Asif. You cannot forget K. Asif in Mughal Azam. The songs. They told a story by itself. They took the story ahead. It did not stagnate. So this is an art form, and which is something which I find missing in today's cinema. Today's, first of all, there are no lyrics. You cannot understand what you are saying. You don't understand. Then the tune is something which I don't know what to do. Like the music is so trash in today's times. I mean, those were the days when we had lyrics, we had songs, lyric. Forever these songs are there. Even आज कोई रेडियो आप सुनिए गाड़ी में चल रहे तो पुराना आता है, you immediately connect with the song. लेकिन मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ मेरे साथ ही हुआ. I had to sing a song in Agnipath, some very difficult song. I still do not know what is the name of the song because I could not understand the lyrics. I could not see how you understand lyrics. How does an actor perform a song? You must make a picture in your mind, ना? कुछ बोल होने चाहिए कि आप लौट चले, I'm telling something, आप लौट चले. You know this way. I cannot picturize anything, but lyrics don't mean anything. So how I did was that behind the camera I used to have these assistants have those huge quotes. उनकी lyrics वहाँ लिखते थे. तो I used to be reading the lyrics, learning from their singing. तो मैंने ऐसे सोचा कि as it is हम कौन सा गाना गाते हैं पिक्चर में. गाना तो कोई और गाता है, हम तो सिर्फ होंठ हिलाते हैं. हम आपका बेवकूफ तो as it is बना ही रहे हैं. गाना तो कोई और वोकल तो कोई सिंगर गा रहा है. तो मैं बोला इसमें भी को और बनाओ कि तुमको लिरिक्स याद नहीं तो तुम पढ़ के बोला तुम गाना गा रहे हो. Look, I cannot understand today's times music. Sorry, it's not in my capacity.
Now the last question from me, as you see the whole career was talking about the generation of the old actor. Rishi, with all that, you are watching Western cinema, and then as an actor you must have adored somebody. Who was the actor in Europe or in Hollywood you felt, wow, he was something very different than what the generations of Dilip Kumar and Raj Kapoor and the middle generation, but wow, they have the moments of acting.
Jabbar bhai, it's a little difficult for me to say this. I have enjoyed and I have really loved some performance by all actors. मेरे actors दो किस्म के होते हैं. एक अच्छा और बुरा actor नहीं होता कभी भी. There is nothing called a bad actor. Either you are an actor or you are a non-actor. जो एक्टर है वो अच्छा काम करेगा ही जितनी भी बुरी पिक्चर हो, लेकिन जब वो नॉन एक्टर है वो तो क्या करेगा, उसको एक्टिंग आती नहीं. तो there is nothing called a bad actor or a good actor, I believe. And for me, a lot of actors have done great work, which I've enjoyed and imbibed in my mind. I've kept them in mind, their work. I have a lot of respect to them. Even small character actors whom I have worked, they're very fine actors, and actors who have been on stage. I have great admiration and respect for those people also. Because I feel somewhere or the other, if you start idolizing an actor or anybody, you might subconsciously try and copy that person. It might tell on your subconscious and you might want to copy what is he doing, how his style is or speaking, how he walks. So I've stayed away from them. There are certain great actors who are known, I don't like their work. But that's my thinking, right? I don't want to name anybody, but मेरे को लगता है कि ये पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा खराब काम किया ये हुआ. तो एक अच्छा एक्टर सदैव ही अच्छा ही रहेगा, और एक नॉन एक्टर जिसको आती ही नहीं तो क्या करेगा बेचारा यार, उसको आता ही नहीं है. He's like a postman. आपने एक चिट्ठी लिखी, उसको बोले डायलॉग बोल दो, और he delivers that pretty dialogue without his or any contribution to this. So that is what it is.
Now I open to all the young people here. Get ready with the mics and
yeah, sure.
Raise your hand. Yeah, please.